Official.StreetSmarks@gmail.com is how you want to contact us. Listen to us right here exclusively on YouTube, Street Smart Audio, or fuck with us. Official.StreetSmarks on SoundCloud, Official.StreetSmarks on IG, Street_Smarks on Twitter, Street Smart Fanpage on Facebook. This is the Extreme Retro Review for ECW, November 9th, 1993. Wood, real quick, how was your thoughts of the show?
Oh man, this was, of all the clip show skip shows, this was the ultimate clip show skip show. This one was very hard to watch just because I felt like I seen everything 1,000 times by this point. So yeah, it was tough and grueling, but you know, if you didn't see nothing before it, then you might have enjoyed it.
So we got a Sully appearance. He got a PSA saying that later in the show, Funk will phone in and say who his mystery tag team partner is at November to Remember.
Whoop-de-freaking-do.
We got a Maddie in the House ECW spot. ECW, it is not for everyone.
Oh, how many times have I heard that?
We got Joey in the news center. He's recapping the Sherry Medusa deal, the shitty exchange, talking about how they both done fuck Greg Valentine from last week. Greg Valentine over there eating some peanuts, talking about, yeah, I smashed both these motherfucking bitches.
You know, say it like a G.
We got another recap of Tasmaniac and Dreamer from Blood Feast.
Who apparently, Tommy Dreamer is supposed to be in the running for Rookie of the Year.
More fucking verbal fellatio from Joey Styles. Joey in the dressing room with Jason. Angel shows up and he shoes her off Tarantino style shield for November to Remember. Moving on. We got a recap of the Wild Man Sal Balomo Rockin' Rebel feud.
Oh man, like I'm glad to see when Sal Balomo gets destroyed by Rocket Rebel and stuff, but I hate to see him coming back and then having to hear about this quote-unquote unsanctioned match between him and I hope Rocket Rebel destroys Sal Balomo once and for all.
What I find particularly cute is how they do the censor bars when Rocket Rebel's over there beating him up with a chair. And then Joey's over there overselling it, talking about he smashed his face. I see teeth, and his nose is broken. Come on, Joey.
Oh man, hey,
stop working me, Joey.
He's earning his check.
We got a recap of Sullivan beating up people on his way to November to Remember versus Cairo in a shoot fight. It's set to some terrible ass David Lee Roth song. Did you get that on the network?
No, it was some generic WWE music.
It might have been the same music. It was that terrible.
Oh, wow, okay.
But like this, did your music had words?
I don't recall it having words.
Oh, okay. Because this song was so terrible, your song might have been better.
Oh, damn.
I mean, it was like, fucking Sullivan beating up people and shit, and it's like, it's just like living in paradise. Paradise, and I don't. I'm like, what the fuck?
This is Kevin Sullivan kicking ass.
Who gives a shit about this midget beating up another midget at the November to Remember? Moving on.
Oh, shit.
Joey recaps the Public Enemy Bad Company feud, featuring the Bad Breed, whatever. It's setting up a viewer's choice match, and the following stipulations you can choose: cage match, chain match, bull rope match, death match, South Philly hood match, and this was the only match that had an explanation to it. It said, damn, what was the stipulations to the fucking South Philly hood match? It said like if you beat them up, one of the people got to go. It's like an elimination match, but falls count anywhere in the arena, and then one person gets pinned. It becomes a 2-on-1 match, and that's the South Philly hood match. So basically, that was the stipulation that they wanted to go with for the ECW match for Public Enemy versus Bad Company.
Okay, basically like a elimination tag.
Yeah.
Okay.
South Philly hood match.
Oh.
Get it right, jabroni.
Oh, my bad. So the South Phillians out there.
South Phillians. Then they had a hair match, and the losing team must split up forever.
Oh, well, that's heavy.
So we got a scary Joey Styles lead in to a Mr. Hughes promo. Same shit, same shtick, same shit, whatever. I'm from the hood.
Yeah.
I took Undertaker's arm.
Yeah.
I beat up Lex Luger.
Yeah.
You're going down with the sidewalk slam.
Yeah. I mean, like, after you go through Lex Luger and The Undertaker, like, Johnny Gunn just seems like a
foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, there's no rebuttal Johnny Gunn promo.
None. Yeah.
So Mr. Hughes has been promoing against Johnny Gunn for weeks about how he's gonna beat this dude with the sidewalk slam. If this motherfucker does not beat him with the sidewalk slam, Mr. Hughes would be the biggest goof on the planet.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
He beat a guy who didn't even bother to show up. He didn't bother to cut a promo.
Not one.
It's like, hey, you're going down with a sidewalk slam.
And I wanted to hear what he had to say because I don't know who Johnny Gunn is.
Johnny Gunn is Salvatore Sincere.
Oh.
Yep.
Get out of here.
Yep. Tom Brandy.
Okay.
Will be uploaded to the Extreme Project coming soon.
Right. You know, said that didn't mean to spoil the upcoming show for the 42 subscribers.
Oh, no. Johnny Gunn shows up for one show, and then you don't see him again. But it is but honestly, it's the catalyst between Funk, Sabu, and Shane Douglas. It's weird how Johnny Gunn ties into all this.
Oh wow, like the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Absolutely. Moving on.
I wonder how close to Kevin Bacon I am. I've never looked into it.
Okay. So here we go. All right. So you are the longest reigning frontwards, backwards, 177th HWO champion.
That's right.
Okay. You lost to who?
I lost to J Bob. You know what I'm saying? J Bob Jamar, my last match. You know what I'm saying? I was doing what was best for business. I knew I was retiring. And so in my very last match, I jobbed to him.
J Bob on a late night bender watched Tremors, who starred Kevin Bacon. Both of y'all are losers.
Wait a minute. First of all, I am pretty decent at math, and that does not equate. Because how does that make me a loser? I was the longest reigning front yard and backyard 177th and Harvard champion.
All right, that's one.
And
you lost it to Jim Bob.
It was J Bob.
That's two.
And
He saw Tremors 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's 6.
but I cannot confirm or deny he saw all those Tremors because it never came up in conversation. So right now that's just speculative.
Sabu with a Japan vignette. Japanese tables so stiff and stubborn. They ornery. Now Sabu has been wrestling in the States, so there's going to be more Sabu going forward.
Yeah, I imagine so. He's the ECW champion.
Todd goes to talk about Sabu, but Hunter Q. Robbins III steps in to protest. Then Paul Lee backs him up. He speaks on preferential treatment and then he leaves with HQR3 into the Dangerous Alliance reformation.
Right.
Sabu title win, quick allusion to Sandman being a drunk, and there's some little foreshadowing there.
Yeah, I did. That was interesting.
So we got Funk on the phone. He buries Hawk. He buries Sabu.
What kind of egomaniac? He was lucky to be in the same ring as Road Warrior Hawk. And then first he tries to bury Hawk and then tries to cause a division in the Legion of Doom. And the Road Warriors, talking about Animal, was the guy of the two, you know what I'm saying? And he was disappointed to be... I was disappointed when I finally got in the ring and Road Warrior Hawk and stuff. You know what else? You know what? I'm just a loser, and I'm just gonna project all my insecurities onto everybody else. And I'm here at the loser ranch, and you know, it's I'd like to call it the Sweeten Valley Ranch, for real. But it's the loser ranch, depending on what day of the week it is. And I'm Terry Funk, and my TV title, and this, that, and the other. What a horrible person.
So Terry Funk hangs up before spilling the beans.
Yeah, the good, because no one really cares. Yeah, he doesn't even really care. You know, he doesn't even have a partner yet. That's why he hung up, because no one wants to team up with a loser and with a terrible, but he's a terrible partner, he's a terrible coach, he's a terrible wrestler, he's a terrible human being. If he had kids, he would be a terrible father. He doesn't have a wife because he'd be a terrible husband. He doesn't do commentary because he's a terrible commentator. He's terrible at everything. He'd be a terrible referee. He'd be a terrible bowler. He'd be a terrible hot dog eating competitor. You know what I'm saying? He'd be terrible at Tetris. He'd be terrible at chess. He'd be terrible at Chinese checkers. He'd be terrible at tic-tac-toe. He'd be terrible at hopscotch. He'd be terrible at double dutch. He'd be terrible at Uno. He'd be terrible at Connect Four. He'd be terrible at 24. He'd be terrible at... It doesn't matter. He'd be terrible at pin the tail on the donkey.
Shout out 24 though. Joey does a David Letterman top 10 reasons why you should be at the November to Remember.
Why do I give a fuck about November to Remember? Because I can't even see it. It's going to be non-televised. Who promotes a non-televised event? Who promotes an event that you can only sell 200 tickets for? It doesn't even make any sense. You know what I'm saying? Or unless it's just some grand genius scheme to sell tapes on the back end. If that's what it is, it's annoying. It's freaking annoying. How popular was November to Remember when they released the tapes afterwards?
They were very popular.
Well, it might have worked, but it's still annoying. But guess who didn't buy a tape? I'm sorry. H-Dub, Triple P, the Poonie Poon Pulverizer, and the Street Smart Audio Pay-Per-View Predictions Champion, and the rightfully should be the Street Smart Audio Trivia Champion, but someone won't give me a rematch at my title, but that's neither here nor there.
So we have a Matty in the house spot. He's hyping up the special tag team match recap, and we're moving on. Various promos, chilling in November to Remember. Final card rundown. Overall, clip show, skip show.
The ultimate clip show, skip show. Ultimate. That I got no, like, from Blood Feast to November 2nd, I got some enjoyment out of the shows, but this one was an arduous and tedious task to get through and slog through. It felt like I just seen everything for the millionth time, and I was over it. So, yes, screw the November 9th, 1993 episode of ECW television.
Next week, November 16th, November 23rd, 1993 ECW shows we'll be reviewing. Until then, life is a work. Make sure you get paid for it. We out. Peace.
Peace.